Alright everyone, and welcome back. I'm Christina, aka ThatVarietyNerd, and today we have something quite a bit different. If you couldn't tell by the length of this video, in the title of the video, we are not doing one, but we are doing two buildings, and here's why. You'll see it, but essentially in Foxbury Institute, the two traditional residence halls, which are, Tidal Tower and Briny Tower, they're basically twins because they have that weird bridge thing that we can't use to cross over to the other side. And so what I have done is combine them into two videos because it made more sense that way. So as always, get your choice of beverage, come hang out, and just grab your snacks, and let's just get some renovating goodness done. I am also being a little bit more quiet because, one, I'm using my snowball microphone, and I'm sitting on my couch and I don't feel like moving because I'm actually really comfy right now, and it is also almost like 11 o'clock at night when I'm recording this voiceover. So that is why. But either way around, I'm really excited to show this because this was honestly like my almost like just crowning achievement almost. I don't know why. I just love how this turned out. They are not quote unquote mirrored, but the layouts are fairly different and similar at the same time. So I figured let's just merge two similar builds in one video. I will also be doing that with two lots over in Gibbs Hill, the Honeydew Fields lot. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Honeydew Fields, and also Pepper's Pub. We're going to be turning those into two renovation videos. Well, two renovations in one video, like that sort of thing. Because I felt like they were like, well, one of them is only going to be like 7 minutes on its own. The other one's like 14 or 15. So I'm like, oh, okay, 20 minutes. That's better than nothing, right? Because you know what? We're about quality over quantity in this case, right? So I want to make sure that I had renovations up, hopefully by the end of the year. That's kind of the goal. And also hopefully finish the Let's Play. So if my Let's Play episodes for Discovery University are a lot longer, that's because I'm trying to finish them, right? Right. So... honestly, that's kind of where we're at. I want to make sure that all of my renovations, I want to make sure that university's done by the end of the year, because I am done with university in real life, as in like I'm on winter break and I don't have to deal with classes for a few weeks. So I'm kind of stoked about that. I can sit at home, I can work from home, I can relax from home. Noticing a trend here, I can just chill and take my time and drink hot chocolate or some ginger ale. I can stream a little bit more. Also, if you are curious as to where I stream over on twitch.tv/ThatVarietyNerd. I am on the road to affiliate status. I have, at the time recording this, which is December 19th at like almost 11 o'clock at night, I have 31 followers, which means I am less than 20 away from getting the 50 required to apply for affiliate status. And I'm still trying to get that average viewership of roughly three viewers per stream. So please support me. Like, I'm really close there. And also please subscribe here. Also, if you haven't noticed, I have been dabbling with end cards on the, videos that I've been uploading recently. I think that it's a good direction. I hope you all have been enjoying this newer sort of thing that we're doing. I really should just turn this into a formal announcement video, but it's fine. But essentially, if I stream anything, or if I have like a different series kind of in mind, right? So I've been trying to play some different games, because if I just do The Sims or if I just do WWE, I get burned out real fast. Speaking of WWE, I don't know when wow, I can't even pronounce that out loud. Jeez, oh man. But speaking of WWE, I don't know when in the world we're going to be able to get the new DLC pack. Again, this is at like 11 o'clock at night on December 19th, so it could very well be out by the time that this is out. But yeah, so I don't know when that's going to be out in terms of DLC. The game's like basically still broken like 2 months later. We've been having fun with it on stream, but I'm getting a little burned out, so I've been trying to play some different series and just dip my toes into different games because we're a variety channel. We play a variety of games. And I'm a total nerd, so there's that. I mean, at least I'm staying true to my brand, right? So there you have it. So right now I got some hot chocolate that is really cold chocolate because I've left it out for a little bit. But yeah, hopefully heading into the new year, I'll have a little bit more freed up time to sort of just work on stuff that I want to work on even more so, because it's like I've wanted to work on just different stuff for a while. That includes YouTube stuff, work stuff, what have you. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be good. 2020 is going to be a good year and a good decade, which is kind of weird, right? Like, I don't know, it's just the whole thing's weird to me. But what I did in this build was at the bottom, I created a second level for both of them. The first level is like more of your communal spaces. I think in Briny Tower, I actually turned 2 spaces into like regular like rooms that you could like live in. Those were meant for like accessibility purposes. So there is that. So just, want to make our spaces a little bit more inclusive and just representative of different lived experiences in The Sims, because The Sims is all about like representing yourself and being authentic and just being able to represent yourself in the way that you want to be represented. And just, The Sims is about representation. Whenever I hear video games, I think of The Sims in terms of especially The Sims 4. And I don't know, I just think that it really encompasses a lot of different identities and just lived experiences. Like, is it perfect? Absolutely not. Will a video game ever get it perfect? Probably not. But we can at least have games that strive to be just inclusive and be decent. You know what I mean? Like, just be decent human beings, just be mindful no matter what you do in life. And yeah, just be a decent human being. That's all I got. So yeah, again, this is going to be very challenging to fill in 26 minutes, but we're going to make this work. Right. So again, each one of these buildings, they have, I believe, the same number of rooms in terms of the bed spaces and also community spaces. I think each one has at least a study space or a living room space, that sort of thing. I switch it up slightly with the layouts, and you'll see it like once we get to Briny Tower in just a little bit. But I just generally really like how this turned out. So I hope you all are enjoying this as well. So there you go. But yeah, so I figured Tidal Tower, which is where we're at. Yeah, Tidal Tower. Again, all these are on the gallery, and if they're not, yell at me in the comments and I'll make sure that it gets up there. So again, the goal, this channel, if I'm doing anything extra, so I've been trying to get through a couple games. I started the Outer Worlds. I also started playing Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game is going to be a bit of a mini-series, so I'm kind of trying to work on some mini-series right now. But anytime I stream games like the Outer Worlds or anything like that, where it's more of a in-depth Let's Play, I'm more than happy to just make those like, okay, here's the stream. And also, I have been able to play more games through my Elgato, so I can record while I'm streaming. Life is great, and that way it saves me a crap ton of time because it's already somewhat edited. So there you go. Anyway, around, hopefully you all are enjoying this renovation so far, essentially it's a new build pretty much. So I finished renovating the Brightchester world very late, going from December 18th to 19th. I think it was like at 1 or 2 in the morning I finally finished. It was kind of ridiculous, but I did it. I think that's what matters, right? Right. So yeah, again, very quiet because I'm approaching the near, if not the end of finals month. I'm kind of dead inside, but it's fine. Between finals month, WB 2K20 being just a train wreck garbage dumpster fire, and The Sims 4 Discovery University just releasing in general in November, I'm kind of dead inside. So yeah, I'm also kind of looking into recording some stuff because I somehow got a free month of EA access on my Xbox. So if y'all want me to play any of those games that are in that vault, I'm more than happy to record some stuff. Especially now that I got the time to record stuff. Are we noticing a trend here? I'm only kidding. But in all seriousness, I really love how this turned out just in general. I worked a lot on the layout, so at the very least you'll have a much more functioning layout and something with lots of windows, because lots of windows is how I like to live my life. So also one other thing too, if you're creating a 2-story layout for your Sims University like dorms, you have to include an elevator, but you also have to include stairs if you want to get up to the 2nd floor. Otherwise, your Sims are probably just going to stay on the 1st floor, and that's not good because it assumes that it's a penthouse already. So you have to treat it as if it's like, as if it's like a city living loft almost, right? So like you can't use elevators as opposed to stairs the entire way. Like you can't have more than one elevator in your university housing, which is kind of stupid to me because it's not realistic. And it's like, you know what? If I want to replicate life in The Sims like it's telling me to do so, I think it's more than reasonable to have 2 elevators in a 2-floor building because accessibility is important when, planning your builds and just building stuff. So there's that. There's also a little bit less furniture on the exterior over in Briny Tower as opposed to like Tidal Tower because of the fact that like I just got kind of lazy. Altogether, both of these took me roughly 2.5, almost 3 hours to put together. That's including grabbing the screenshots and, editing that down a little bit. So yeah, about at least 3 to 3.5 hours of total like manpower work or woman power work, however you want to like person power work. There we go. I like that one. So person power work. So yeah, I basically took about 2.5 hours. Yeah, that sounds about right because I think Tidal Tower, the recording said it was like an hour and 40 minutes and then 40 minutes with Briny Tower or something like that. That sounds about right. So yeah, that equates to 2 hours, a little over 2 hours of recording this. And obviously I probably took breaks at some point, but like I made sure to press the pause button because you know what? Ever since OBS introduced that pause button, my life has been forever changed. And I'm quite grateful for that. And so pretty much what I did, I wanted it to be very bright and light on the exterior. Oh, wait until you see Briny Tower. We go polar opposite. We have like dark walls with like that light floorboard, the light wood floors. So we use the same floors in both of them, but then we also, and the furnishings are somewhat similar and somewhat different too. So I believe all of these builds are just single bed rooms, if I'm not mistaken. So your sim is going to get some privacy. Which, you know what? I think that is fine. Again, like, think about it this way. Like, think about, like, how newer, residence halls or dorms are kind of built. I had the opportunity to see 2 buildings. Yeah, 2 buildings during undergrad get built up. And more, there's, like, a trend to make it more, like, from Europe in the sense of, like, you share, like, say, for example, like, you share a space with, like, 4 people, but each of those 4 people get like at least a bedroom to themselves, but they might share like the living room and bathroom area, that sort of thing. So it's more like cozy. There's a lot more privacy. I still don't know how I survived sharing a space for a year, but I did it and I'm proud of that. But I also had a really great roommate too, so I can't really complain about that. So yeah, that was pretty much like honestly half my job when I worked in house. It was like, my roommate stole my food, like that sort of stuff. So believe it or not, like that actually happens more often than not. I think that was between that and noise complaints. I don't know which one I had more complaints about, like when I worked, is like an RA. I think that was probably the top 2 for sure. Noise complaints. Oh yeah, pretty much lockouts were number 3. Yeah, so it was noise complaints, roommate complaints, or getting locked out. Which those are usually, what you would think would be the usual suspects in college, like when you're living by yourself for the first time. Some people like myself, again, we're only children, so like we're not used to sharing spaces. We like our privacy in general. We're not used to like sharing a bedroom with anyone like that or, whatever. So we're not used to sharing our room. That's pretty much where I'm going with that. So again, it is almost 11 o'clock at night when I'm recording this. I don't know why I'm recording it this late, but here we are either way around. I'm at the tail end of finals month. Yes, it is finals month. I had work before Thanksgiving and kind of during Thanksgiving and then after Thanksgiving break. So it was like that week before Thanksgiving and then Thanksgiving happened. And then, yeah, it's kind of been... It has not been a great month. I will be fully transparent about that. And I think that's been reflecting in my content and my streams, etc. So if I go off the grid for a day or 2 at a time, like, just please excuse me. There will likely still be content. It's just that I am tired and I need sleep. So please be patient with me. It's like, I'm trying to grow. It's fine. Oh yeah, so a couple of these rooms are actually meant for two people. Which are usually these, which I believe are just the corner spaces. Again, I didn't realize only like 8 or 9 Sims could only like live there at a time. So your Sim could very well like, like have a whole 2 bed place to themselves. So that's the thing. So I made sure to include mini fridges or we call them micro fridges. That's the actual term. That is a thing when they have the microwave and, mini fridge combo in in your room. If you get one of those like that, it's becoming more and more of a thing, thankfully. Although some folks do not know how to clean a microwave. Thank God I know how to clean a microwave. It might not be all the time, / as often as I should be cleaning it, but I know how to clean a microwave. So there's that. You would be amazed how many folks do not clean out their fridge or clean their microwave or clean the kitchen in general when they go to move out. So this is also some helpful advice for those of you that are like, hey, I'm planning on moving out of my apartment soon, or my res hall soon, if you haven't already. But especially, it's not so much of an issue when you're moving out for the like winter semester or the fall. Like in some cases you can keep your stuff in your dorm, like not every place does. Like for example, like I think I was able to I think it was like as long as God, I'm trying to remember. I don't think we had to like fully strip down everything my freshman year, but like if you were moving to a different building the next semester, I think you had to move everything out. So like that actually happened to me from like fall my sophomore year into like the spring of my sophomore year as well. So that was not great to move all my stuff home for about a month. I thought I was going to have to get a storage unit. So that was a great time. It was certainly a great time. And yeah, so, and not my best, but you know what? We're making it work. So yeah, pro tips, clean everything like 2 or 3 times over. Take pictures of everything before you move into your new space. Take pictures after. Because I have dealt with situations where some people forget to lock the door or somehow their place may, get broken into. I think I knew someone that it happened to where like somehow their apartment got broken into in the middle of the transition, like their lease ended or something. And then like all of a sudden someone just broke into the place and just straight up, like they just straight up just trash the place or whatever. Like I've seen that happen with friends before and it's just not great. So there you have it. That is also a good transition, pun intended, into Briny Tower. So Briny Tower is very much Tidal Tower's cousin, essentially, or at least its twin, I should say, in terms of like general layout, but in colors, we're going a little bit different. So there you have it. But yeah, so again, make sure that you take pictures before you even move anything into your new apartments or your houses or anything. I will drill that into y'all's mind as that big piece of advice, because especially when you go to move out, you want to show that damages were there. So for example, a lot of times they usually will have like an RA/resident advisor or a community manager, someone that's like underneath that title, like a building manager. It'll go in and do like a pre-move-in inspection, but sometimes they miss things. So that is why it is important. Why do you think you have to fill out those room condition reports when you move into a lot of your, college campuses and, your on-campus living and stuff? By the way, those were always kind of a bit of a pain to do, but you know what? It wasn't the worst thing ever. It was more tedious than anything, but like in the end, it really saves time and hassle, because that way it's like, oh, okay, like that scratch was there on the living room wall next to the window. You know what I mean? Like it basically only helps someone to have that there, because it just shows that there was damage before the person moved in. So ideally the person, won't get charged or anything like that. So yeah, why am I sharing all kinds of housing stories? Because it's only fitting. We're talking about like, on-campus university housing. That's kind of that was basically what I did for a couple of years. So I enjoyed it. It was definitely a big learning experience for sure, and definitely got me out of my comfort zone quite a bit. But it's really helped me transition into my role that I have now. So I can't really complain about that. So, like, I mean, obviously it's like not an easy job by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you learn things. Just like, generally speaking, at any job, even if it's like, oh God, I learned that I don't want to do this in my life, that's still something that you learned. So that's just, equally as important in my opinion, if not even more important. So yeah, from that, I pretty much was like, yeah, I want to work at a college campus for like the rest of my life. But you know what? We can all have our own goals in life, right? Right. So yeah, I just enjoy working with college students in general and just students, period. I enjoy school too much. I'm that nerd. I'm living up to my brand, okay? That's how I'm rolling here. Holy crap. We still got like another, like almost 5 minutes left? Oh my goodness. Okay. But yeah, so any stories you would like to hear, we've got some stories. I obviously am not going to disclose all of them because privacy and so forth, and my butt does not want to get in trouble or anything like that. So there is that. But I really hope that you all are enjoying these renovations. I've enjoyed putting them together. It's mainly been me drinking a lot of ginger ale and coffee and hot chocolate and just not moving from my bed to like record these because you know what? I'm not sitting in a hard chair for God knows how long and renovate Brightchester. Also, the save file progress is constantly getting updated too. So in total, I'm almost 5 total worlds done out of like 14 or 15. So it is a work in progress. We are slowly but surely getting there. Is it going to take me God knows how long to finish it? Absolutely. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but it's going to take me quite a while. And quite a number of videos, I'm sure. So yeah, for example, I haven't even touched Windenburg yet, and I'm kind of terrified to touch it because it is massive. So at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I was able to do like Newcrest. So to be fair, a couple of those houses were duplicated and like the layouts were mirrored. So like I had a couple little like cheats along the way in that regard, but I built Newcrest from scratch in like 3 days. So I feel like I could probably do it at this point. I'm in it for the long haul. This save file is going to happen. I don't know how we're going to make this work, but we're going to make this work. So that's kind of honestly my motto at this point. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to make this work, but we're going to make this work. So there you have it. But yeah, so what I did here was that like, since you just move into the halls and you don't really have much in there, in general, you just get like a set number of like furniture essentially. So I kind of wanted to reflect that, put in the lights, wherever needed. I changed the light fixture colors and so on and so forth. But, everybody gets their own room, which is even better. So there you have it. There's also a community space up there too. So the study hall space so there's 2 rooms downstairs as well. Again, accessibility purposes, there are like there's like certain rooms in some of the like halls usually. There's like a certain number that are reserved for like I think it's ADA. Yeah. So like for like disabilities and stuff like that and accommodations. There we go. So there you have it. So if you've ever wondered why you got stuck in a really weird layout for, your residence hall, it was probably an ADA room that just never got assigned or anything like that, or just, they needed that room for someone. So there you have it. I think one of my neighbors had that at some point, or even I might have had that. I don't remember. But a lot of trends are making it to where like more of the university housing is accessible in general. For example, I'm trying to think. I lived in a building that was like kind of built in the 2000s, like early 2000s. So it was lived in a little bit, but it wasn't like super duper old. But it had like, I remember in the shower, it actually had like a seat in the shower and also like a bar to grab onto. So obviously little things like that are like, oh cool, like anybody can take a shower in this room. That's nice. So like little things like that I think are slowly but surely making their way into campus housing. I think that's awesome. We need to be inclusive without being like just being more we just need to be more inclusive and mindful, because not everybody is going to come from a different background or have the same abilities as everyone else. So it's important to just be more inclusive and make things more the norm instead of like, oh my goodness, I have like this room. You know what I mean? Like we need to be more intentional and more inclusive in a way that makes everything a little bit more normalized, or I don't even know if that's even the right word I'm looking for. Just making it more accessible and like just in general making, more of a part of our everyday lives, if that makes any sense at all. But in general, I really love how this entire renovation turned out. If you have been listening to this and me rambling for the last 25 minutes, my apologies. I probably sound just super out of it and just tired, and I quite frankly am. So after I am done recording this at the end of this video, and after rendering said video, and hopefully uploading it, I am going to be sleeping for like the next week. So in case if you need me, I will be sleeping for about the next week. So there you have it. So yeah, again, I wanted to include some blinds in general because that's what you get, but we're about to jump into the screenshots. So as always, I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I sure as heck did. It took me quite a while, but I also want to include little bits where I got the screenshots and so on and so forth. But as you can see, I kind of label them accordingly. So before, after, which tower, that sort of thing. So as always, thank you all so much for watching, especially if you've made it this far. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff here on YouTube. Go follow me over on Twitch and social media. All those links are in the description down below. And I will see you all later.